Hello, I'm Julia Budd and I'm the Chair of Trustees of the Racing Foundation. Today we're here at Oaksey House, the Injured Jockeys Fund original base, and I've been meeting a whole range of people from Racing Home, which is one of the projects which was initially started by Women in Racing. We've actually been funding Racing Home since 2019, and over the last 5 years we've given them some 340,000. That funding started very small. It was just a pilot project to sort of explore the whole issue. But over that time I've been fascinated to see how it's developed, and I've learnt a lot more today. I think what's really interested me, I've met such a range of people, and I realised that Racing Home has harnessed the sort of skills and experience of a very broad range of experts. Dr. Anne-Louise McKinnon has helped develop the area that we've funded most recently, which is the post-pregnancy rehabilitation programme. And so this is really recognising the specific needs that racing has as a sport in women who are not just coming back to work with all the psychological challenges, but some very real physical challenges, and has developed an extraordinary physio programme to help women return to the sport.
I'm Dana Mellor and I'm involved with the Racing Home project. I think what we've seen here this morning, when we look around, we can see that racing is attracting a predominantly female workforce, and that's been happening for some time. So it's important for racing to be able to support these women, to recognise them, and most importantly, to retain them in the long term, especially when they choose to have a family alongside their working life in racing. We're moving away from the culture of, it was tough for me, so it's got to be tough for you, towards, it wasn't so great for me, so let's make it better for you. So by investing in the Racing Home project, the Racing Foundation is actually listening not just to these women, but to the parent community in racing generally, so that we can put measures in place to support them, and we can break down those barriers to the return to racing. And I think if there's one thing the Racing Foundation really gets, is that a huge difference can be made to individuals by simply letting them know that someone is in their corner. And that is what the Racing Home project does.
My name is Heather Johnson. My main form of employment is I work for the British Racing School. So I'm a workplace instructor. I go out into the yards, I'm delivering apprenticeships, teaching, assessing, safeguarding and pastoral care of all the young people in our industry, and I'm also a grassroots ambassador for the Racing Home programme. I started at the British Racing School, so I've gone full circle working for them now. I initially started in a jumps yard and then I moved to the flat in 2007. So I had a really good career on the flat. I had a handful of rides as an apprentice jockey, and then I was a travelling head girl. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. I fell pregnant with our first daughter in 2015. And when I came back into racing, initially, I was just riding out. And I remember the first day I went up the gallops, they said, "Oh, this is an absolute bus, you'll love this." And I pulled up and they were like, "Oh, it's a bus." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a bus." And so I was like, "Oh my God, I thought I was going to get run away with," because I had lost so much strength and fitness that actually I was only just holding it. I definitely remember feeling really dissatisfied. I'd been in a really good senior role and I've travelled horses all over the world. I've ridden group horses day in, day out, and it sounds arrogant, but I was good at my job, really good at my job, and I felt really lost that I wasn't doing that, and I almost felt like I'd lost a lot of respect. People just sort of considered me as a mum who was riding out, and oh, here we go, here's some nice quiet lots, off you go. And I didn't feel very valued, sort of part of the team. I definitely thought I would just carry on. And I think it's quite a horsey mindset as well, that we just keep going, we just carry on. And I definitely hadn't considered the physical changes. I hadn't planned on having a C-section and had to have an emergency C-section. And I thought I would just carry on in racing and it would all be fine. But yeah, the reality of it was quite different. I felt quite lost actually. I will quite happily put my hand up and say I do not enjoy the newborn stage. I'm sure lots of people do, and it was lovely. It was really lovely having a baby, but to go from being outside all day, you're around lots of people, you're around horses, and then all of a sudden you're just by yourself all day with a baby. Sort of my community was racing. I first got onto the programme, I'd attended one of the Women in Racing open evenings and got chatting to Dana Mellor, who told me all about the Racing Home project. I thought I'd wouldn't be quite eligible for it. I'd had my second baby 4 years previously, but she said, nope, no boundaries, off you go. Here you go, this is how we get you set up. I thought I was doing really well physically. I thought, oh yeah, I'll go along, but I think I'm in quite good shape. I was back riding, I do a lot of yoga, I'm pretty fit. Came for my first physio session and they said, no, you're in terrible shape. You're quite fit, but yeah, no, the after effects of 2 C-sections and a particularly traumatic second one, actually, we need to rebuild you a bit. So I was given a really good program of exercises, really regular sessions, and that really helped get me back in shape and really helped my riding confidence in myself. It made me realise actually when I got to the end of the program, oh actually now I feel like myself, and I hadn't realised actually how much my physical confidence had gone from having the girls. I would say just have the confidence. It's really easy to reach out and get the support and get it almost in place before you have the baby. Even just reaching out and saying, oh, I'm pregnant, is this something that could help me in the future? And then we know how to contact them, we can check in with them, and they've got that support. And so as the Racing Home ambassador, that's how we can get people as well. There's people I've met in yards that are pregnant and they've got all the information and they've all said, brilliant, we'll definitely be in contact. Might not be straight away, but when I'm ready, I know where to come for it.
Why does it matter to the Racing Foundation? Well, we all know the issue, which is that the sport, the industry really struggles to recruit. It not only struggles to recruit, even more, it struggles to retain. We are losing women to the sport who are hugely valuable to it. And the aim of this programme is both to make the sport more attractive to join in the first place for women, but most importantly, when you have those great riders, or not just great riders, they may be a great yard secretary, they may be a great travelling head person, to be able to hold on to those people. And that to me is the real benefit and importance of this programme. But what I think I've also loved is so often racing doesn't work terribly well together to make things happen. And this was a really super example of people working very much together to make an awful lot happen.